Is it important to get a computer science degree in 20?
Hello, guys. This is episode 4 of Launch in 5, and I have a very special guest. We met at Surf Incubator during Seattle Tech Week. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Lee Irvine, and I am a UWF, University of West Florida CS graduate from 2008.
Mhm.
And since then, I moved out here to Seattle to take part in the big gold rush of technology.
Mhm.
And I've worked at a number of different companies as a contractor, developer. And in that time, I've worked with a lot of well-known brand names, recognizable, but never worked with any big tech companies like Facebook or Google or Microsoft, even though they're here. There's still a lot of smaller players in the industry that people recognize, but they still need tech talent. They need contractors. And that career journey has brought me to where I am now, where my focus is less on coding and more towards building developer advocacy, giving back to the community. And we operate something called code therapy.
Okay.
Yeah, code therapy.
Can you tell me about code therapy? It sounds interesting.
So code therapy is a service where we work directly with people as a pair coding companion to solve little problems that might be something bigger, that can be in the planning stage where you're still trying to figure out like what you want to do. You're building some kind of mobile app, like suppose you're a construction tech company and you want to build something that can measure like a pile of dirt, for example. And you need somebody to kind of like consult and give you some recommendations. Get a little bit into the weeds and just kind of like look at the code that you already have and figure out a solution that's going to take you to where you want to go faster. That's like one level. We work with CTOs, but we also work with like students and small founders to bootstrap smaller operations. We had worked with a founder a couple years ago, and he was building a platform to connect students right before the pandemic. He had a really great platform that he built up. We pair coded with him, and we helped him get that off the ground. We helped to build some of the infrastructure that he needed, and very, very reasonable cost, very easy incubator kind of setup that helped to grow local business.
Okay. You went from working in the industry in all the other non-big companies, so middle, medium to small. How did you go from working to then moving to being a consultant?
It's kind of a slow transition. It's a slow transition that starts with meeting a lot of people. Having worked at so many different places, I've met a lot of different people, and what you have to do, what I had to do, is just do the best that I could, over deliver, bring my A game so that people will remember me as somebody that can get them where they want to go, and creating that network effect. Eventually you become known in the area, in your industry,
in your field.
And then that just kind of bumps you up to the next level. A lot of people, they get kind of stuck at the level as a developer, and they say, how do I go up from here? Where do I go? And they don't want to stop coding, and it seems like the only direction to go is to become a manager. Like, that's the next step, but that's almost like a different career in my perspective. I think that the next level for someone that's in coding is to give back to the coding community in different ways, where it's taking the lessons that I've been able to learn along the way and write those things down, do developer advocacy, support packages and other things that people use regularly, and that kind of paints a picture, I think, of like a career trajectory that is not necessarily like strictly like corporate ladder climbing, but kind of going more towards like building your own business.
What stage are you now, and what are the stages of a consulting firm, really?
As I mature further, I find that I'm growing when I'm coding less and writing more. And I see other people in the same field, and they get to a point where they're just like teaching courses. They're they have groups of developers. They just bring them together and they teach them something like TDD or AI-driven development, and they just kind of lay out practices that have helped them through their career to build really great products, and now they're giving back in that way. So that's like the next step. Like I'm kind of halfway there. Like I still vacillate back and forth between being a coder and being a developer advocate, and then in between those periods, doing those small consulting engagements.
Okay.
That I mentioned.
You want to get to the point where you are not individually doing the coding, but like teaching multiple people, right?
Yeah. Education and teaching, writing, things that create residual income versus just hourly income.
Okay.
Yeah, not selling my time so much as I am like maybe writing a book or something. That would be really great. That would be really great. Like, you know.
Okay. So, what would be the title of your best-selling book? Do you have an idea?
Maybe like I would call it Coding with Compassion.
Coding with Compassion.
Yeah, Coding with Compassion. I like this idea of developers. They're collaborating with each other. They're working together. They're not afraid to work with each other. And right now that's kind of the case because we have this velocity system where a lot of companies, they'll rank people based on their productivity. They get like a ticket, then they've got to finish that ticket. They get a number of points. Then they move on. If you work with another developer, if you try to help somebody out, the result is that your numbers go down.
Wow.
You will get canned. And that has happened to me on a number of different occasions. Like I have been reaching out, trying to help other people, and it has always cost me. And like, but like I can't just leave that part of myself.
Yeah.
And just become that kind of person. So like that's the idea of Coding with Compassion, and that's the idea of collaboration and pair coding. Earlier in my career, a lot of my seniors were very big on that, and it was something that was ingrained in me, and that's something that I want to carry forward and to give back.
The culture has changed from where you started, right?
Yeah, I mean, I came from the East Coast.
Okay.
And I came to the West Coast, and I think that's about where I saw the shift happen. That was around, I've been around for a while, so that was like 2012, 2013 when I came out here to the West Coast, and very, very different culture, very siloed is the term. Like people are encouraged to work on their own, and any kind of collaboration is usually punishable. So
seems pretty counterintuitive to any form of like STEM sort of field, you know.
Right, that's true. I mean, like you look at Star Trek, you see people like they're working together, they're solving problems, but here I see a lot of like, you got to fill your tickets, you got to get it done. The sprint, you have a goal, get it done.
Who is your like ideal swimmer base? Like
sometimes I work with CTOs of established companies, and I build just for the time.
Okay.
Of like we have a code therapy program, has a we have like Stripe, and we have Harvest set up so we can track the time, and just based on like kind of like paying a lawyer almost, where you're paying him for his research time, and then you get billed for that, and you get like, there has to be some kind of deliverable though. and that's usually in the form of a video of interactions, a prototype that we build together, a write-up of some kind, something that's related to what we do. And that's like how code therapy makes money. If I'm working as somebody's developer, then that's pretty obvious. Like you just bill by the hour, at a block rate. And that,
if you were to expand your business, you're saying educational, so are you going to start selling courses? Like how is that going to work out?
I would like to sell some courses. Right now, me and my son are working together. We're building Code Safari.
Code Safari.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and it's for kids. It's courses based on the Lua programming language as well as HTML and CSS.
Okay.
So if you're familiar with Roblox,
yeah,
that's Lua.
Oh.
And just things like data types and control flow and any other computer science concept you can think of. Like those things kind of get glazed over at this point because it's so easy to just ask like ChatGPT to get like some like a code sample. Like I want to make I want to plan an event.
Yeah.
And I want it to be at a certain time, and then you can pretty much have ChatGPT just generate that, and you never really have to think about the code, and it's just like right there already. So I want to be able to help people to read code, and I'm starting with a younger generation.
From my understanding, you're a very compassionate guy, right? And
thank you.
Yeah, and it seems like that's it seems like in the world where efficiency is king, compassion is starting to be like undervalued when it shouldn't be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any question that I haven't asked you, or anything that
is it important to get a computer science degree in 2025?
Okay, that's a great question.
That's like a big troll question. People put that out there, and
I know.
And then there's a fight. I think yes, it's very important to get a computer science degree if you really care about the field of computer science and you're passionate about the field, like computers in general. I really think it's important to study the work of people that came before you, and that includes all of the math and all of the writings that people have done, from like Alan Turing to Ada B. Wells, and understanding like the algorithms that people use every day, just at some basic level. Like I think that's really important, you know. Like it does cost money to get a computer science degree, and I don't know how kids today are able to do that. Like it's just crazy how much college costs skyrocket in the United States, but like it's still worth it to be able to at least have that study in some form. I think.
Also, like hot topic question, since we're on that, what's your thoughts on vibe coding in that, since you're very much a specialist in that field? What's your thought on vibe coding?
Okay, here's my thought. So vibe coding is generating code and not really reading it, right? And but I don't think that's really like the real gain that we get from AI as developers. I think that like being able to like talk to somebody, even if it's a chatbot, it's a very knowledgeable chatbot. Like you're just talking to ChatGPT through any problem. As a developer, that is so helpful to have that. That means so much. Like that has helped me through so many problems. Just being able to rubber duck with something that's really knowledgeable is a really big win. Just generating code, most times for me, I get the wrong thing, no matter how much detail I put into the spec. Like it's like the more I want from it, the less it gives me. If I just say, hey, just make me a website, I don't care.
Right.
And it gives me something that looks really nice, and then that like makes me think this is really good. I could keep going from here. And I say, okay, AI, let's make like tests. Let's build this front end. Let's build these back end pieces, and let's integrate it all together. And then like I come back in 30 minutes, and the thing is a mess. And it's like taking an existing project that was looking pretty good, and now it's like it's just trashed. And like that, I think it's harmful when people get the impression that they can like take it to like the next level and vibe code like that's my impression of it.
So if I'm breaking it down, vibe coding is great for someone, like you said, who's gone to school in that field, who has like the base knowledge, right? Because it's good at like the first basic step, but to like go further and actually make it a good product that people would use, you would need the skills of a person who learned it, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know what's cool though? What? That is very true. That is true. To really get the full benefits, you do need to understand the code.
Yeah.
Like you gotta understand the code at some level. But there's people now like product managers and designers, and they're prompting and they're creating these really cool prototypes.
Oh.
And they're able to use these in ways that we could never have imagined before, and I think that's really spectacular.
The barrier of entry is lower, but like the barrier of skill is still still just as high, but then it allows new creative thought into like the space that you very much enjoy, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's so many other entry points.
Okay.
And yeah, it having a prototype is so valuable in a lot of cases.
And big question. So when I first met you, one thing I realized right away is that you really love computer science. Like, so why, and what's your favorite thing about that space?
I remember my first computer was like his BBC Basic, and it played like all these video games, and I loved to like play the games and kind of like get in there and like change the code around and it's like a little world that you have control over. A little slice of the ego right there, and I love the color and the sound, and I love the interactivity that it creates, and computers really bring that out of people. And I could quote Steve Jobs.
Okay.
It's a bicycle for your brain.
Bicycle for
your brain.
Oh. That's good. That's a good quote.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Well, thank you for your time. It was a great interview. I'll have the link to your website, your consulting service under the video and on the LinkedIn. So thank you so much. I wish you the best. I wish you to become like I wish to one day read the what was the title?
Coding with Compassion.
With Compassion.
Yes.
I hope to see it on audiobook, Amazon, and everything. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the interview.